On his accession, Khurram assumed the title Shah Jahan, ruled 1628–58. Shahryar, his younger and only surviving brother, had contested the throne but was soon blinded and imprisoned. Under Shah Jahan's instructions, his father-in-law, Asaf Khan, slew all other royal princes, the potential rivals for the throne. Asaf Khan was appointed prime minister, and Nur Jahan was given an adequate pension. Shah Jahan's reign was marred by a few rebellions, the first of which was that of Khan Jahan Lodi, governor of the Deccan. Khan Jahan was recalled to court after failing to recover Balaghat from Ahmadnagar. However, he rose in rebellion and fled back to the Deccan. Shah Jahan followed, and in December 1629 he defeated Khan Jahan and drove him to the north, ultimately overtaking and killing him in a skirmish at Shihanda, January 1631. The next rebellion was led by Jujhar Singh, a Hindu chief of Orcha, in Bundelkhand, who commanded the crucial passage to the Deccan. Jujhar was compelled to submit after his kinsman Bharat Singh defected and joined the Mughals. His refusal to comply with subsequent conditions led, after a protracted conflict, to his defeat and murder, 1634. Unrest in the region persisted. Chronic volatility of the Deccan prompted Shah Jahan to seek a comprehensive solution. His first step was to offer a military alliance to Bijapur, with the objective of partitioning troublesome Ahmadnagar. The result was both the total annihilation of the province and the Accord of 1636, by which Bijapur was granted one-third of its southern territories. The accord reconciled the Deccan states to a pervasive Mughal presence in the Deccan. Bijapur agreed not to interfere with Golconda, which became a tacit ally of the Mughals. The treaty limited further Mughal advance in the Deccan and gave Bijapur and Golconda respite to conquer the warring Hindu principalities in the south. Within a span of a dozen years, Bijapuri and Golcondan armies overran and annexed a vast and prosperous tract beyond the Krishna River up to Thanjavur and including Karnataka. The Mughals, on the other hand, maneuvered to regain Kandahar, 1638, and consolidated and extended their eastern position on the Assamese border, 1639, and also in Bengal, where Shah Jahan had become involved in a dispute over Portuguese piracy and abduction of Mughal slaves. In 1648 he moved his capital from Agra to Delhi in an effort to consolidate his control over the northwestern provinces of the empire. The Mughal attitude of benevolent neutrality toward the Deccan states began to change gradually after 1648, culminating in the invasion of Golconda and Bijapur in 1656 and 1657. A factor in this change was the inability of the Mughals to manage the financial affairs of the Deccan. Subsequently, Bijapur was compelled to surrender the Ahmadnagar areas it had received in 1636, and Golconda was to cede to the Mughals the rich and fertile tract on the Coromandel coast as part of the Jagur of Mir Jumla, the famous Golconda vizier who had now joined the Mughal service. To a great extent, Shah Jahan's new policy in the Deccan also was propelled by commercial considerations. The entire area had acquired an added value because of the growing importance of the Coromandel coast as the center for the export of textiles and indigo, following in the footsteps of his predecessors. Shah Jahan hoped to conquer Samarkand, the original homeland of his ancestors. The brother of Imam Quli, ruler of Samarkand, invaded Kabul and in 1639 captured Bamiyan, which gave offense to Shah Jahan. The emperor was on the lookout for an opportunity to move his army to the northwest borders. In 1646 he responded to the Uzbek ruler's appeal for aid in settling an internal dispute by sending a huge army. The campaign cost the Mughals heavily. They suffered serious initial setbacks in Balkh, and, before they could recover fully, an alliance between the Uzbeks and the Shah of Iran complicated the situation. Kandahar was again taken by Iran, even though the Mughals reinforced their hold over the other frontier towns. The events at the end of Shah Jahan's reign did not augur well for the future of the empire. The emperor fell ill in September 1657, and rumors of his death spread. He executed a will bequeathing the empire to his eldest son, Dara. His other sons, Shuja, Aurangzeb, and Murad, who were grown men and governors of provinces, decided to contest the throne. From the War of Succession in 1657 to 59, Aurangzeb emerged the sole victor. He then imprisoned his father in the Agra fort and declared himself emperor. C. Bahadurpur, Battle of Samugar, Battle of Deorai, Battle of Shah Jahan died a prisoner on February 1, 1666, at the age of 74. He was, on the whole, a tolerant and enlightened ruler, patronizing scholars and poets of Sanskrit and Hindi as well as Persian. He systematized the administration, but he raised the government's share of the gross produce of the soil. Fond of pomp and magnificence, he commissioned the casting of the famous peacock throne and erected many elegant buildings, including the dazzling Taj Mahal outside Agra, a tomb for his queen, Mumtaz Mahal. His remains also are interred there.